Welcome to Love You Bro Podcast, where we are doing a special edition on this Sunday afternoon. I want to welcome a very special guest who I've been on his podcast, and he's very successful in his. I think he said you're at 180 what?
Yeah, 182.
Yes, my man Mario from the Big Modcast.
What's up, Jude?
Hey, welcome to Love You Bro Podcast.
I appreciate you inviting me, man. This is awesome to be here.
Listen, we said we were going to do some cross stuff back and forth and on each other's podcasts, and it won't just be once or twice. It'll probably be more regular than that. But
no, this is good. I know you invited me once a while back, but I couldn't make it at that time. But I told you, there's another opportunity. Let me know, bro, and I'll be here for you, man.
Yes, sir. I know. I appreciate it, bro. We go back a long way. Mario and I started playing softball against each other when we were 18, 19 years old, man. A long time ago. We had a lot of battles, Comp.
A lot of battles. A lot of battles on the field, man.
And back then, Comp, it was, we wanted to take each other out, or not hurt each other, but take each other out during the game. Very, very competitive. Yeah. But afterwards, always drink a beer together.
Oh, exactly. Well, shit. Sometimes we do it in the middle of the game. Sit there and drink a beer, yeah.
But that's kind of what this being here today. We're at the Tourney Aguirre, the 73rd Tourney Aguirre Mexican American Latino tournament here in Kansas City. It's an honor that these guys invited Love You Bro to come down here. It's an honor to have Big Modcast on here with us as well. So we're gonna just jump into talking a little bit about the tournament, Mario.
Yeah.
They moved it over here to Hy-Vee Arena. We're going to bring some guys on like Robert Aguirre, who's been a part of this tournament, coaching for a long time.
Yeah.
Bobby Grado from KC La Familia. We're going to bring him on. And then some of the directors of the tournament. So we're going to bring some of these guys on, some players from some of these teams.
Yeah, let's
But, I want to talk about, did you ever, I know we played softball against each other.
Yeah.
Did you play in the basketball? Did you play in this tournament?
Oh, yeah. I used to play in this. Yeah, I played in this tournament quite a bit. We made up our own team. Actually, back when we were playing softball,
right.
All my cousins, my family team, we just said, you know what, let's try basketball. Let's see if we can do a basketball thing.
Right.
I mean, we're good out on the field, out on the dirt.
Of course.
Let's try. And we weren't successful, man. Right. It was tough, because we started seeing some big guys. Our biggest guy was my cousin Hy-Vee.
Right.
And he's what, 6 foot?
Of course.
That was our big guy.
That was your big guy.
So we tried it out. We played in these tournaments. It was just a fun thing to do. Seeing these teams from Chicago, from Houston, from Texas, anywhere in Texas, Illinois, it was just fun.
Right.
The atmosphere was fun. I remember seeing you out there playing too.
Of course.
With whoever you played for.
Right.
So, like I said, we did a family team, and then my uncle Ralph Pacheco, he got a team together. We were playing in the league, and then he said, let's start doing this tournament. So then we started doing that. Then there was times that we couldn't get our team together. Right. So then, like El Taquito, remember the phone? El Taquito, they had a team.
Of course.
And I was, Tommy Herrera, he was running that team. Him and Enrique Chauran. Right. And they're like, yeah, you want to play? We need a guard. Or let's do it.
Yeah.
Anytime. There was even times that I just show up with my bag.
Right.
I have my shoes, my shorts. Anybody say, hey, are you a guard? Yeah, I'm a guard. All right, hey, what's your name? Let's play.
Right.
Just get in here, let's play, make new friends.
Of course.
Stuff like that. And as I got older, it was still the same. We'd go to Omaha. Hey, man, sometimes we go to Omaha with 4 guys.
Right.
And
pick somebody up there, right.
Start picking up.
Of course.
It was always about, let's just play some ball, man.
I think Mario, we've been blessed with our families. I know you got a large family from your KC Indios team.
Yeah.
Softball team is very successful. I know you guys were up. We're going to talk a little softball today too, because it's part of our community and everything we've grown up with. Yeah. 50 years, is that correct? 50 years?
Yeah, for our softball team. Yeah, the Kansas City Indios.
Hey, listen, hats off to that. Congratulations to that, because
appreciate that.
That is that's a big accomplishment. People that have ever watched, the family teams and stuff in certain areas, wherever you grew up at, to see a team that's carried on a tradition for 50 years, that's big, man. So congratulations to you and your family and everybody that started that team.
Truly appreciate that. Yeah, it was an honor last year. We got to play in the NAFA tournament, or the team did. I'm not playing anymore, but the team, we went up with the family, Rockford, Illinois. And we were inducted into the Hall of Fame there in the NAFA tournament.
That's big time, brother. That's big time.
And as a family team, and I believe I think this was the first time that they said, we're actually going to include a family, because we know back from 75, you guys, there was even individuals that we would have play with us because some guys couldn't make it.
Right.
And then the director there said, you know what, you go ahead and add his name to the list because he's part of your team.
Of course.
You know?
But only a handful. There's only a few selected that got the chance to play with you guys.
Did you ever get to play with us?
I did. You know what? There was one time when Hy-Vee had come. I think you guys would be short somewhere.
Okay.
And I just couldn't make it that weekend. But I would have jumped on and thrown that in in a heartbeat, brother.
Just like we're doing right here in the
Yeah,
pod,
of course, man. I would say, hey, don't be a Jersey. Tell me where to go.
Yeah,
So.
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, so we did that, and we're still going strong. Getting ready to have a taco dinner here April 11th. I believe we're going to do it at the Guadalupe Center.
Yep.
I think it's going to be there. We had it there last year. And it's going to be a good time. So April 11th. Anybody need tacos? Come on,
There you
come
go.
on down, get
come
some
on
tacos,
down.
and support the Kansas City Indians team.
I love it.
And
I love it. I'm gonna tell a funny story. When I was
Go ahead.
in high school, I was playing baseball at Shawn Mission East, and when I was younger, my brother Bob, may his soul rest in peace, he passed in '99. He was good friends with all the guys with KC Los Amigos.
Okay.
So he was best friends with Robert Hernandez and Paulie and Eddie and Boosty and all the guys. And so I would always go as a young man. I always go with him, watch the tournaments. So I told him one time, I was probably 13, 14, I said, I'm going to play with these guys. He said, oh, no. He said, oh, no. He said, I want you to go and play college ball and do all this stuff.
Right,
I don't want you just to think about doing this. But they look, they're just having so much fun.
Right.
There was a community, all the guys. I was lucky enough when I was playing college baseball, I was a pitcher. Yeah. So I never had to pick up a bat or play anything else. So that's when I was 18, and Paulie Hernandez and Herbie LaFuente came down to my parents' house and asked my dad. They said, hey, can he come play with us this weekend? Uh-huh. And he told them guys, listen, he can go as long as you guys don't let him drink this weekend.
There you go. Yeah.
So that's how I started playing with KC Los Amigos. That's where I started. Played my first 4 years there, and then spent some time with the Angels.
Amigos, man, that was a solid team.
Yes, sir.
You guys were a solid team, and you say you were one of the youngest ones, but we would see Boosty come up to the plate, and we're like, all right, everybody back up, man, because we knew he was a good hitter.
Yes, sir.
That whole team was solid.
Right.
Right.
Going and playing with them, I was lucky and fortunate enough that I had guys like Herbie LaFuente, guys like Boosty to take me under their wing, because when we were in the outfield, they stuck me in right field. Boosty was in center, Herbie's in left. But I had a couple guys there that really worked, because they knew I was a baseball player, right?
Yeah.
So they really worked with me and helped me, learn how to, hit the fast, the fast pitch softball, the drops, the rises, and all that stuff. And they used to always tell me, scoot up in the box. And I was like, man, I'm not trying to scoot up in the box, brother. I'm not trying to scoot up, man.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun learning from those guys and playing with those guys. But a lot of great times, man, playing that softball.
Oh yeah, a lot of great times, man.
Hey, listen, we're gonna take a break just for a second, because I'm gonna go over here and grab one of the guys. I'm gonna grab Rob Aguirre. We're trying to get Rob Aguirre. We're trying to get some of these guys to come on.
Let's do it.
To come on the show. So I'm gonna go over here for a second, and we'll be right back. Okay.
All right, sounds good.
I appreciate you being here, Colm.
I got you, man.
Welcome back to Love Your Real Podcast, where I just want to thank all of our sponsors. We've been very blessed and fortunate. Proactive Solutions, Lula Southern Cookhouse, and all the other sponsors that we had during 2025. I just want to thank them. We have a new resident sponsor that has joined us for 2026, Maloney Sports Bar and Grill. We want to thank them over there very much. We're going to start doing one episode a month over at Maloney Sports Bar and Grill. So we'll be shooting something before St. Patrick's Day. We'll be shooting something during Royal season, during the World Cup. So we're super excited to welcome them as one of our resident sponsors. Over there at Maloney's at 79th, right off of 79th and Metcalf. They've got TVs everywhere. Make sure you always have a good time when the game is on. Daily food and drink specials. Some specials to highlight: we get the 25% off on apps Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 for dine-in only. On Wednesday, they've got trivia from 7 to 9. Any drink specials available throughout the week is available on Wednesday. Outdoor seating, you guys, they've got over 70 outdoor tables for those unexpected warm days this time of year. The rooftop deck, we did an episode there on the rooftop deck for the Kansas-Missouri game, and it was one of the best episodes we had. The crowd was great. We will be promoting back and forth between what we're doing over at Maloney's. So look on Maloney's page to look at some of their stuff when they're doing on our sponsorship. They'll be doing the promoting as far as when we're going to be there shooting live. So we would love people to come on, join the set. We'll be handing out T-shirts. We're looking at March Madness, starting with the Big 12 tournament beginning 3:10, championship games Saturday on 3:14, selection Sunday 3:15. Please come out to Maloney's. Great bartenders, great staff. The food's great there, you guys. We're super excited about having them as a resident sponsor. Please follow us on Instagram, on TikTok, on our YouTube. Please go on there and subscribe. When you guys are doing that, check all of our links for our sponsors, because we'll be hosting our Maloney's link on there, so people will be able to go and check out specials, see when we're doing our show, and we will be promoting on there when we're doing our live podcast. So starting in March, we'll have a couple shows at Maloney's, and then from there about once a month. So thank you to everybody over at Maloney's for being a sponsor of Love You Bro Podcast. Welcome back to Love You Bro Podcast. Yes, I'm your host, Jude. I got my Cohost Mario over here from Big Modcast helping out today.
Thank you, Jude. Thank you so much.
We want to bring on a couple special guests, man. These guys have been lifelong family friends, man. Our families have grown up together. It's part of the community and tradition and everything. But these guys have been a huge part of this basketball tradition in Kansas City. Not just here, but the way they take teams and travel across country and stuff. We want to welcome on here Bobby Grado. Bobby, welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you for having me, Jude.
Absolutely, man. And I also want to bring on, man, another longtime Colt, man, Rob Oliveira. Rob, thanks for coming on.
No problem, Jude.
Absolutely.
You know it, Mario.
Thanks for being here, bro.
Hey, you guys, I want to ask, Rob, Bobby, I want you guys to kind of chime in a little bit and tell us, this tournament, where it started, and all of us have played in it. You guys have played and done some big things, and you guys have kept this basketball tournament, to me, alive by having teams and traveling, because that's the big thing, is going to play in those other cities. Tell me a little bit about, KC La Familia team, where you guys kind of started that, how that started, and where it's at today.
It all started back, I think I was maybe 14, 15 years old. Rob was running the Kansas City Longhorns. He took me on a trip with him to Wichita for a tournament, and I instantly fell in love with it, man. And he did the Longhorn thing for a while, so I started my own team. And I think around 2005, we combined and started KC La Familia.
I love it, man.
Okay, so you guys were KC La Familia when you started your team?
No,
okay.
I was KC Heat when he was the KC Longhorns.
Okay.
And I had a lot of the kids that I got now were fresh out of high school. Julian Miller, Mike Garcia, a couple of those guys,
Okay.
And we were just getting in. Wasn't winning any tournaments, but we were still traveling. We were still going, you know what I mean?
And that's what it's all about. Just go out there, have some fun, play some ball. Yeah, everybody wants to win a tournament, but like I was telling Jude earlier, man, we played in tournaments when I had my family team. We were a softball team. We weren't basketball, but we'd go out there and play basketball just to do it, Just go out there and have some fun.
Yeah. That's how we started. Like he said, he had his young squad. I had an older squad, kind of, and there wasn't a 35 and over that we really played in back in the day.
Yeah.
And I'm a product of Tourney Aguirre, and I started it. The guys that are getting inducted today, Jimmy Chavez, and he started a great tournament out in Wichita. And we used to travel out there a lot. And Bobby jumped on in the van one day, and I was like, "Yeah, come on, man, let's go." And he fell in love with it like I did. I started 42 years ago. Traveled to Chicago, El Centro tournament. Tommy Herrera, John Chili Ortiz took me out there. And I fell in love. The camaraderie that after the game, a couple guys came up to us and asked us, hey, where you from? What do you do? And I told them what we did for a living and everything, talking. And, man, it was just great, the camaraderie we got together. And then, like I said, he had a younger squad. I had an older squad. And we
had to bring in the fresh legs.
Had to, man.
Yeah.
You guys, I think about, these tournaments and stuff, and like we said, man, it's all about family and friends. Like, you want to win the games, you want to win the tournaments, but then afterwards, man, like you said, it's about the camaraderie and everything, about everybody being together, having a beer afterwards, eating some food afterwards, and being together. I think that's the biggest thing that I've seen that you guys have fallen in love with in your team's traveling, right?
Yes, for sure. And as times change, a lot of things change, and there's a lot of reasons you would want to walk away from it. But the love, it's just overwhelming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take the family to Chicago. Them guys out there open their doors for us, loan us their cars.
Really, that's awesome.
We got a saying with La Familia and our Chicago guys is, your money's no good here. Right. So when we're out there, they don't let us pay for nothing, and when they're here, we don't let them pay for nothing.
Gotcha.
And that relationship was just built off basketball.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't do that with your blood sometimes.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can live next door. and not talk to them as much as you talk to these guys, as much as you trust in these guys.
Yeah.
And even the bad times, somebody's family member passes away, Rob's father passed away, them guys jumped in the car, they got down here for his funeral. Those kind of actions that was built on this foundation, they're unmeasurable.
Of course, yes. You know, Bobby, back when I was playing with the Metros, before I started playing with the Metros, my brother, I just started playing. Anyway, my brother Bob had passed away in '99, and when he passed away, all the guys in Newton, I've been playing with them for just, one season, and all of a sudden there's 11, 12 of my guys from the Metros from Newton that drive in for Bobby's funeral.
Wow.
And that's what it's about, and you guys know, because you guys are doing it all the time, man.
Yes.
I've always respected and loved to see what you guys do, because I love the way you're not just here doing the tournaments here in Kansas City, but the way you guys travel, man. Like you said, you guys travel to Wichita, you guys go to Omaha, you guys go to, Chicago all the time.
Texas now.
It's Texas, man. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. I hope you guys continue the tradition and everything and continue going with your teams, because you guys are doing big things for Kansas City, man.
Thank you, Jude. Yeah, we appreciate it. The shout out. Man,
We plan to keep it going. We hit road bumps. We don't have the same backing as Guadalupe Center for our tournament, so we started from the ground up.
Yeah.
And the hardest part is finding gyms.
Right.
I just lost North Kansas City High School for my event this year because something that happened in another tournament. So now we're back to the drawing board, trying to find a gym.
this is going to be our 10th.
Our 10th year?
Yeah, we did it all on our own.
Listen, I've got a lot of good sponsors that are involved in our Love You Bill podcast. I love you guys like brothers, man. If there's anything we can do, we can come and do our podcast at your tournament, and then we can get some sponsorship or something, or I can help with some gym stuff. Just let me know, man. Just ask.
We'd appreciate it.
And I'll reach out and do whatever I can do for you guys. You know that.
Yeah. Appreciate it, Jude.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Rob, tell me a little bit about when you started, because you had some of the older guys back in the day, some of the old vets, man. Talk about some of the OGs you used to have back on the squad back in the day.
Man, they call the stories we could tell, man. I can't put them on this podcast right here. But we're neighborhood guys. We started our team, the Longhorns, Pat Parra, Sonny Morales, rest his soul, John Rano, rest his soul. Dang, we lost some soldiers on the way
sir.
In the years.
Frankie Vera?
Frank Vera, big old tall minute, tallest Mexican in KC's. He's a big part. Porge started running with us. Then we picked up Billy Roman from Wichita. We had some legs then, man. But as we grew older, we had to pick up the younger guns. But we started it, and I mean the OGs. But what really helped us go. Amigos, they had a basketball team.
Los Amigos, yes, sir.
Art Garcia, George Guerra, TC, Vera.
Shout out.
Dan
Avila, lefty.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Shooter.
Yes, very good shooters. But seeing them play, grabbed my attention. And as a young ball player, I loved the game. Going to high school playing, and then afterwards not going to college to play. We got into these rec leagues with Tourney Aguirre. Got us in, kept us in the court, and man, kept us out of trouble for a little bit. For a little bit.
Right.
And those guys started it. They started it a long time ago, and they used to run these tournaments, man. I mean, Topeka 7-Up.
Topeka Dairy Queen, man, back in the day. They had a hell of a squad.
Yes.
Hey, I'm going to bring up a name that I think deserves to go in the Hall of Fame. You guys tell me. Bobby, I know you had to see him play at one time or another, because I played alongside of him. And I think Joey Ortiz belongs to me in this Hall of Fame.
Oh, he was a good ball player, man.
I'm telling you what, Joey was one of the baddest Mexican kids I ever played with. That guy could take a tournament over and score 25-30 on any given day.
Yes.
There for a while, we had Frankie Vera, George Guerra, Dan Avila, TC, myself, Joey Ortiz. We had a little squad that was kind of, trying to give a little bit of younger legs to those guys.
Yes.
But we were still competitive until we would run into the Chicago Bandits at Bell Rec.
Right.
And I'm telling you what, I felt like they had 8 jackrabbits on the floor because some guys used to run us, bro.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good shout out. Thank you for mentioning the Bandits. Tony Diaz, compadre of mine, man, good guy. We're in a group text, and we text every day. Can you believe it? Can you believe that?
Cool,
That's
man.
good.
That's crazy, man.
That's the kind of stuff that needs to be done. Communicate, stay with all the homies. Everybody. You guys just got to do that.
Yes.
And I do that on my podcast. We talk memories, and we're like, you know what? Gotta just stay close with everybody.
Right.
Life's too short, man.
Life is way too short.
Yeah, exactly.
Bobby, tell me what's your favorite tournament outside your Kansas City tournaments? What's your favorite tournament to take your KC La Familia team?
We haven't won much, but Chicago's always one of my favorite because, like I said, they're real good guys, and we get to hang out there and meet their family, bring our family. Just this last 2 years, we started going down to Texas, and I don't have anything bad to say about Texas. I love it.
What part of Texas you guys go?
We've been to San Antonio. We go to Houston a couple times a year. We went to Dallas last year, and as you know, it's hard to get players to commit, especially the young guys.
Right.
You know, they don't have the money, the funds, and we try to help them as much as we can.
Right.
But we go down there with 5 guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No subs. We'll pull a guy out of the stands if we have to.
Right.
Or we'll just go down there and take our lickings.
Right.
And I mean, and even sometimes we're right there to the end, you know.
Right.
And I don't do it to go down there and win all the time. You know what I mean? Like you said, you'd like to win, but you just got to keep it going. You know, I got my son involved now, kind of letting him try to control the younger team.
Right.
Also showing him the stuff that we're talking about. Hey, this is Mr. Diaz from Chicago. He ran the Bandits, one of the best teams. When you see him, you go out of your way to shake his hand.
Always.
When you see, the coaches of these guys, you interact with them. You find someone to build a relationship with, man, because you never know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
Your job might pick you up and move you to Texas,
Right.
Chicago,
Right.
and these family members that you met in basketball, they can mean a lot out there. You know.
Right. Hey, listen, before I let you guys go, Bobby, I want you to tell me a little bit. We were talking a few minutes off set about the team from Chicago. You talked about. I want the introduction because I want to ask him to come on. The guy from Chicago that's got the.
Oh yes, Benny Estrada, very good guy. Does a lot for his community. Little village in Chicago. It's a rough area. He's an activist. There for the family members of those who lose their lives to the streets. Grabs kids from the streets, introduces them to basketball, takes them to see these out-of-town trips, and if he only changes one person's life, he did a lot more than the rest of us. You know what I mean? Very good guy.
That's incredible. Tell me about his brand again, because I'm gonna ask him to come on.
He's got a brand that he makes basketball clothes for, and it's shoot hoops, not guns. And
I'm sporting that right now.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
I love that.
Peace, love,
huge.
and basketball on the front, and in the back, I'm sure it says shoot hoops, not guns.
That's here. Listen, I want you guys to make an introduction if you would for me, because I want to invite him on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Anything we can do to help support what he's doing down there, up there in Chicago. That's big, you guys.
Very
As we
big.
know, man, life's too short. Sometimes you get these young kids and they just don't have the right. Maybe they're one-parent home or whatever. A lot of these guys end up in the streets or whatever. And just to have a place to go to play basketball and travel and do tournaments, that's big to get these kids off the streets, man.
Yeah, it is, man. And it's something that, is close to us because of Lisa Galvin a couple years ago, gun violence, and a couple weeks ago or last week at a nightclub here. So I text Benny this week and said, hey, can you bring me a 2X? I need a shirt to put on Sunday. Because I knew you were coming, and I want to make sure you get your statement out.
Yes.
No shoot hoops, no, not guns, And that's what this youth needs, man, is somebody to get in the gym, man. That's what I did. But I was lucky enough to have Tony Aguirre, Fish, to come around. And
shout out to the legend Fish, man.
Oh,
shout out to Tony Aguirre.
None of us would be here without him. None of us.
Exactly. And I think a lot of times we overlook the fact that how hard it is to go to college, how much it costs.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost to get in the game. It doesn't cost to them to ruin your life. I know firsthand. You know what I mean? So we need people to give back, to save, to help, to bring people up, because not everyone should have to walk the shoes we walk.
Of course. Well, you know what? It's good to have guys like you, guys like Rob, guys like us that have been in those streets and done that. We've had to lick our wounds. We've been knocked down, but we've gotten back up. And what we've all done to be here, and what you guys have showed the younger kids, bro, it's priceless, man. What you guys are doing.
Thank you.
So hats off and kudos to what you guys both do for Kansas City.
Yeah.
For traveling to the tournaments, man. I love both you guys. Do anything for you guys.
Thank
Right
you,
on.
Jude.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you guys for being on Love You Bro podcast.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you, Mario.
Bobby,
Thank you, bro.
Thank you, Mario.
Love you,
Thank
bro.
you.
Mario.
Love
Thank
you,
you,
brother.
Jude. Right on. Love
Thanks
you, bro.
again.
Right on.
Welcome back to Love You Bro podcast. We're here at the 73rd annual Tony Aguirre basketball tournament here at the Hy-Vee Arena in Kansas City. Mario and I want to bring on a special guest that we were just introduced to by our guys Rob Aguirre and Bobby Grado. we want to bring on Aaron Rivas from Chicago. Aaron, welcome to Love You Bro Podcast.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, bro.
I appreciate you guys, man. You guys always show love to us when we come out here, and it's always a blessing to be in the gym, with the guys and just, enjoying the weekend. So appreciate the time too.
Absolutely. Listen, I know there's a lot of love between the Kansas City and Chicago guys because I know KC La Familia. I'm close to those guys. Our families, when we talk about our families, those guys, dads and grandparents were
sure.
my dad and grandparents club. So they grew up, and then Rob and I grew up, and Bobby came, and Mario's played the softball, basketball in Kansas City. So we've all grown up in that community. But Bobby was kind of telling me a little bit about what you guys are doing in Chicago, Aaron, and I think it's big, man, talking about, getting kids off the street a little bit, but I want you to talk and tell me about it because I don't know enough about it. I want you to share what you guys are doing, man. You guys are doing big things there.
Yeah, man. So, hey, first and foremost, man, I like to take this time to shout out my brother, Benny Estrada. We have a motto, we have it on the shirts, shoe hoops, not guns.
Yeah.
And
Just a little bit closer.
shoe hoops, not guns. And we just want to highlight that, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many talented young men in our community, and because we lack resources and we lack gym spaces, safe spaces, and things like that, we've been a little bit behind the curve, from a lot of communities because of that. But, man, going back to your question about, what we do, so we both work for an organization called New Life Centers of Chicagoland, which is a mentoring group. So it's a mentoring group. We mentor at-risk youth from from the city, and our team name is La Villita, which means little village. So that's where the community that we come from. That's where we work, and we just want to bring that kind of that passion, that the young guys have, in the neighborhood, and they bring that passion into the court and just battle, man. Come out here and battle. Sometimes we win some, we lose some, but we come out here and we show heart, we show love, and it's always love. We take that ride, 8 hours, to come play in the gym, and then 8 hours back. That you got to have some sort of passion for the game to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit. Then you guys have some gear, some wear from your guys'. Is that your foundation you guys have? Or is it just your organization?
No. So aside of the organization, my brother Benny Estrada, he has the La Villita gear.
Okay.
So he has shorts. I don't know if you can see it, but like on the hoodie it says La Villita. So he has pretty good fly gear. Everywhere we go, everyone's like, "Hey man, let me get some of those shorts. Let me get some of those shorts." So that's something that he's doing, that he has a passion for, and he's doing on his own.
And the saying is, it's shoot baskets, not guns. Is that what it is?
Shoe hoops, not guns.
Shoe hoops, not guns.
Yeah.
So if we had to tell our people that watch our show and our viewers and stuff, is there a place for them to go that they can order any of this gear that we can support you guys?
Yeah. They can go to Instagram, Villita Basketball, and they'll be able to see all his stuff on there.
Well, before we leave today, we'll get with you and Benny, and we'll get Instagram and stuff so we can put it up on our podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
We'd love to have people in Kansas City support you guys.
I appreciate that.
What a great thing to do, though.
Exactly.
Getting kids off the streets, as we know, man. In Chicago and Kansas City, life's too short. We've seen too many young kids lose their lives.
No, for sure.
Over foolishness, man.
Yes.
We lost a dear family friend, a member of ours at the Chiefs parade.
Oh
here
yeah,
a couple years ago.
We heard about
Lisa
that.
Lopez Galvin,
Yeah,
may her
man.
soul rest in peace.
Yeah,
was huge in our community, and it was over some kids literally somebody bumping into each other. Someone brands and shows their gun, and then opened fire, and 20-something people get hit over someone bumping into them.
Man, you know what? Nowadays, I say hurt people, and we don't know what's going on inside the homes. So when we get a hold of these young guys, man, we try, we're not judging them for how they look, what they do, and things of that nature, and we just open up a space for them for them to be who they really are, and that little bit of love, the little hug, the breaking of the bread, and things of that nature, man. It goes a long way. Some kids come from they can't get away from their uncles, cousins, and things like that. We can get them off the streets, but when they're inside their house, they're surrounded by that stuff. So whenever we have them, man, we just try to just be big brothers, man. That's all. Show them integrity, what integrity looks like, what love looks like, and.
Let me ask this: How old are these kids when they start? When you get them the.
Man, it's crazy because I have a bunch of guys that are currently on my caseload, which I work with close. And I met some of them when they were 9, 10, you know, and right now, you know, we have guys that are, you know, 13, 14, 15 years old, you know, who we can't really connect with. We can't really connect them to jobs and things of that nature because they're so young. But man, those are the ones that we really got to focus on, man. Those are the ones that we really got to, you know, kind of like spend our time with, but because they're just watching, you know, they're watching, and if you know, no one at home is kind of guiding them the right way, they're going to figure out a way on their own, and sometimes it's not always the right way.
Right, yeah.
Right, but listen, hats off, man. Kudos to what you guys are doing, man. May the Lord always bless you guys and your foundation and the shoot hoops, not guns.
Yeah.
You know, I know Kansas City shows Chicago love and vice versa.
Oh, for
so
sure.
Anything we can ever do for you guys, man, please let us know. But we'll put you guys' link to your Instagram. We'll put it on our podcast.
That's what's up.
Thank you so much,
man.
Aaron Rebus, for coming on.
Hey,
please tell Benny thank you, and we'll support whatever we can do with you guys.
Sir. Hey, man, and just shout out Kansas City, man. Look at this place. You know what I mean? Like I've been coming out here for years. Benny's been coming out here for years, and like you said, you know, my son plays on the team. Benny's son plays on the team, and all his. So it's a family. You know what I mean? For us, this is our way of detaching from all the negativity and all the things that are going on in the neighborhood. So we are blessed to be able to still play. We're blessed to be with our kids, with the young guys. So man, Kansas has always been great to us. So God bless Kansas City and everybody here. And man, appreciate you guys.
I'm glad we met, man. Love you, brother. From Love You Bro Podcast. Man.
Hey, appreciate you guys, man. God bless you guys.
We appreciate you too.
All right,
thanks, Aaron.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Love You Bro Podcast. I'm your host, Jude. We got special guest Mario from the Big Modcast helping
what up,
host
bro?
the show.
Thank you, man.
Hey, we're going to welcome a couple of guests that are long-time family friends of ours, long-time guys. I know we spent a lot of time. You spent more time playing against them. I spent more time playing with them. These are two guys that I've grown up in Kansas City with. Our families, our parents, grandparents, friends, and stuff. We want to welcome them on the set. I want to welcome on Frank Vera.
How's everyone doing?
Good, man. Welcome to the show, brother.
Frank,
hey,
good to join us, brother.
And I got to welcome on my cult, man. Number six. Porge, John Garcia right here. Porge, what's up, brother?
Pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Number 6. Did you wear that number softball and basketball?
No, number 6 in softball and 25.
25 in basketball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, listen, thank you guys for coming on and joining the show, man. We came out to kind of support the community and support the 73rd annual Tourney Aguirre Latino Tournament. You guys have spent a lot of years. You guys are both in the Hall of Fame, correct?
Yeah,
you guys are both in the Hall of Fame here.
Congratulations.
Congrats to both you guys, man. Well deserved. I played alongside both you guys, and well deserved. You guys were badass basketball players, and good people to have here in the community. Tell me about some of your experiences. 6, when do you remember your very first time playing in this tournament?
Oh, man. It was probably like the rest of us. It was probably we were 18 or 19 years old, right?
Right.
And so we were probably good enough to play high school basketball.
Yep.
And I think probably not as good enough to go to play college, but I think it was baseball for me. I went in and played college baseball.
Yep.
So the basketball was kind of like the secondary thing.
Of course.
But they were like, hey, you're pretty athletic. We've got this little circuit that we go and we start traveling on, and kind of like the same thing with softball. So it kind of was coincided with each other, and when you played softball for somebody, you probably had somebody playing basketball, the same thing.
Right.
So.
Who was the first team you played for in this tournament?
Oh, probably Guadalupe Center.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it was their tournament. It's turned out to be after 73 years. Turned out to be the Tourney Aguirre Guadalupe Center.
Right.
But yeah, it was Guadalupe Center's tournament from the very beginning.
Who were some of the OGs you started with?
Oh man, well, so with Frank, but he wasn't an OG. He was just I mean, to me in grade school. Frank was probably 3 years older than me going through grade school. And what's really cool is we talk about OG. I went to Our Lady of America's Guadalupe grade school, and he went to Redemptress.
Okay.
So we already played against each other, Redemptress, Guardian Angels, and so I already knew him. But then thinking back, like the real OGs, like Art Garcia, and I was just out of the realm of like the Hernandez family and the Amigos basketball. So probably the first one that comes to mind is Art Garcia.
Right.
Yeah,
because I remember when I first started going out of town to Topeka, and I went. Amigos had kind of a partial team then, but your brother TC was playing on the team.
Right.
George Guerra, Dan Avila. But I remember going and playing a couple tournaments with those guys, and then playing. Listen, you guys, I want you guys to let me know, because I was asking some of the guys earlier. I asked Rob and I asked Bobby Grado. There's a guy that I think deserves to be in this Hall of Fame. He's someone I played alongside that you guys know very well. I think Joey Ortiz belongs in this Hall of Fame. What do you guys think?
You know, it's funny because I remember him, now that you bring up his name, from Vic's Fair Graphics.
Of course.
Right? Like, that was an old school. Like, that was old school, the Sacred Heart Tuesday night, Thursday night leagues.
Yeah.
And but for whatever reason, I think where he gets the slight is that I don't remember him traveling,
of course,
as much.
Yep.
But for sure, on the west side, you know, with the leagues
always
and
in the games,
absolutely,
always in the league games, playing.
Absolutely. So I mean,
he was a guy that probably didn't travel the circuit as much because he really did. He didn't. I mean, it would take us a lot. We were playing with him.
Yeah.
It would take us a lot to get him to go on the road because of work and different things. But I just think of guys that were, to me, game changers during the game. And that dude, he could fill it up. Joey could light it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, very talented.
Yes,
very talented.
Frank, so when you started, where did you start? When you started, what was the first team? Your first memories playing in this tournament?
Well, you know, you mentioned my brother TC.
Yes.
And to me, that's where it kind of really started. When I was a kid, watching him come in from all the tournaments over the weekends with the Amigos, the Hernandez family, and that's what just got me more into it. And then I did it for another 30 years myself. So,
wow.
So he started like in the 60s.
Right.
I carried it on.
Right.
I carried it on.
Right.
But for me, it was the Hernandez family. Art, John Diaz.
Right, John Diaz. There you go. Another one, John Diaz. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Big John Diaz.
That's right. That's right. You know, it's funny, Jude, you brought up Topeka. The first time I went out of town to play, so we got done playing Saturday, and we had a pretty good day, and the guys were all getting ready to go out. Unfortunately, I was too young. They left me back at home. As a matter of fact, they left me back at home with Drew Rangel, and he hadn't. What was it? Was it Drew Rangel from Argentina, the little point guard? And the only reason he stayed back is because he didn't drink. So he was babysitting me back at the hotel.
Hey, we talked about this earlier. I'll tell you how bad it was when I first started playing with the Amigos. Herbie and Paulie came over to the house to talk to my dad. And then they said, hey, Mr. Buck, can he come play with us this weekend? And he said, yeah, just don't let him drink. And then I got into 12s, man, and it was all up.
That was it. That was it. Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
But a lot of great memories and stuff, though. What were some of your teams, Porge, that you remember playing on? Some of your most favorite teams that you played with, you know, you guys won some tournaments and stuff.
Man, so I do want to go back when my first aha moment to how big this thing was. We were in Topeka and had a happy hour, social hour, and it was Topeka Hitmen, I think, is who their tournament was, or Dairy Queen, one of those, right? Yep. And I'm going to the restroom, and I'm standing between two 6'9" Mexican dudes.
The bouncers, right?
No, they weren't the bouncers. They were the basketball player, and they were from Laredo. And I swear I've never seen that tall Mexicans in my life, right? And I'm like, holy crap, this is kind of a big deal,
right?
You know. And so that was kind of like my introduction of my first traveling. So the first team, though, that I'd have to say that we started, becoming more competitive was probably when I did go from the Guadalupe Center to the Kansas City Magic.
Okay.
And then that opened my eyes because we ended up going to the Tommy Nunes tournament in Phoenix.
Right? Yeah.
And he was the famous NBA referee. And that was kind of where, there'd be 40 teams there, from all over the country, all Hispanic, Latino, and that was kind of probably the big, the big moment of where you're like, wow, this is something that's pretty big.
KC Magic, you guys had a squad, man. That was a hell of a squad you guys had back then.
Yeah, it was, and we started bringing in a couple players from, we brought in some guys from out of state and helped us compete a little bit more on the bigger stage. Yeah. But I think once we did that, and I think probably the closest I ever got was the tournament that I never won was in Chicago, and that was the El Centro tournament, and we took second place, and we lost to the Bandits again for some reason. Every time it was either the Bandits or El Centro, and somehow they always had our number. But I think that was probably probably the biggest moment is making the championship game there in Chicago.
Frank, how about you? What was your biggest moment?
Like Courts brought up the tournament in Phoenix, Tommy Nunes. I went there when I was 18 years old with the Hernandez family.
Wow.
It was Art, Peanut, and I walked out there and I was like, what what am I doing?
Of course.
And there was guys that played NBA guys. I don't know if you guys remember a guy by the name of Carl Herrera.
Yeah.
He played for the Houston Rockets. That guy balled, man.
Right.
And I was playing against this guy.
Really?
I'm like, no way. No way I can guard this guy. But it was fun. And it just like Coach said, this little light says it was fun and I competed and I could do this. And it just turned to just a yearly, long life thing for me, right?
Right.
And it was great. I enjoyed it.
I love it. Mario, do you remember any of the Chicago teams used to come in? Central on the Bandits?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, we had our little family team, and we'd get smoked by the Bandits. And for some reason, 8 o'clock in the morning, or not 8, but about 10 o'clock in the morning, we'd have to face those guys.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd score like 30, and we're still trying to get our first basket in. I'm like, come on! I said, let's go to the baseball field. You want, But those guys were tough.
Yeah,
those guys were really tough.
But back to the Chicago and the Kansas City tournament, that was a long tradition.
Yes.
Right. I mean, you're talking like way back in the '60s. Central used to come here. Phil Coronado, he ran that organization in Chicago the way Tony Aguirre did here.
Right.
And he did it for so many years.
Right.
So many years. And that's what made it even great. Because you go to 10 tournaments a year,
Of course.
and you would see the same teams over and over again, right?
Yeah.
And that's how the band of brothers kind of became, right?
Right.
When you go against Topeka, Chicago, for
Wichita,
all the tournaments.
Omaha.
Yeah, all of them. And
Right.
you did it all. It was the same teams,
Yep.
but it was just fun.
Yeah. I remember one time Porge making some comments or talking with some guys from the Bandits. Those guys play all year round. Back in the day, those guys, when you talk to them, they play in leagues all year round. So, we played softball, we do whatever, and then, you play in the basketball. But you talk to those guys are playing 3, 4, 5 nights a week year round.
Wow. I didn't realize that,
Yeah, the first time I remember, Six, is when we beat you guys inside the Bell Rec Center. When I was playing with Frankie, we had George Guerra, Dan Avila, and those guys were filling up. But I'll never forget when we beat you guys, we were at Bell, and Bell was packed, and we played the Bandits. I swear to God, I thought they had 8 dudes on the floor. I've never seen guys so quick in all my life.
Oh my God! You know what? That's so funny. I remember that Bell Rec.
Yes.
That's another story,
Yes.
right? The games that had been played there,
Yeah.
outside of the Hispanic tournaments,
Right.
all the big time college players that's gone through there. But I do remember that game, and I remember, man, it was so cool because it was 2 Kansas City teams going to play to go to the championship.
Right.
So unfortunately, one of us had to lose.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was good to know that one of us was going to be in the championship.
Yeah.
The bad part is one of us was going to have to face the Bandits.
Yeah, there you go. So you flip a coin. I'd rather take third or play the Bandits.
Yeah.
We went out there and I was like, fuck, is there 8 dudes on this floor? Every time I turned around, someone was picking my pocket going the other way. The ball would go here, bouncing here. Some guy, I'm looking at the guys like, come on, man. These guys are just so fast. But that was a lot of fun. You guys, this Hy-Vee thing, this is I know things evolve and tournaments evolve, but to me, I really love the smaller gyms because they were so packed. I know you guys remember that game when we played at Bell Rec.
Yeah,
That gym was
I did.
packed.
Yeah.
I mean, into the corners, there were so many people packing in because, like you said, 2 Kansas City teams, and it's all guys that we wanted to beat each other on the floor, but we knew afterwards we were going to have a beer together and be family afterwards. We might talk on the floor and go at each other, but afterwards we were drinking beers because our families have all, grown up together.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I'll never forget that Bell Rec time, man, because that gym was, it was packed.
It was nice.
It was packed, man.
And I think that's what makes this whole thing is the people that put this tournament on know that, the competition means something, but so does the venue.
Right.
And just being able to, like you said, playing in the Bell Rec Center, playing in Sacred Heart that had held 100 people, but there was 100 people in there. Right?
Up on the stage.
Up in the windows. They'd be up in the windows on the stage. Yes.
There were 100 people in there, and it was probably not a regulation court, but somehow you fit 10 dudes on that court, and you were still tired at the end of it because of the competition. But I think that's what makes this tournament is the 73rd year going into it is that somehow, some way to keep it alive, and keep the story alive.
Right.
Yes.
Listen, guys, man, I appreciate you guys coming on, man. I love you guys both, man. You guys are, family, friends, man, for a long time. We appreciate you coming on Love You Bro podcast. You guys are part of the familia now with Love You Bro, man.
Yeah.
Love you, Frank. Always, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Anytime.
yeah.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, my man. We were in the middle. You were in the middle of talking about where you guys started. and everything. So jump back into where you were. If you remember where we were.
We were talking about the great teams out of Chicago, the Chicago
yes.
Bandits. So, everybody fights. Everybody keeps fighting. You're waiting your turn. You can just feel it. You're losing close games. So finally in 2000, we had some change at the top. Head coaches. It happened in softball. There's changes. Well, I decided Tommy was stepping away. I decided to take over. And actually, I threw a dictionary, Mexican dictionary, at my wife, and I said, we need a name. And I swear, she wasn't in that book 10 minutes. And she goes, how about Valiente? And I go, Valiente. Courageous, brave. I looked up, read.
Did some research.
And I said, Kansas. I said, but I didn't want it Los Valientes. Because I wanted it to be Kansas. I wanted it to be Kansas City. Because and really, that's who we are.
Yeah.
Courageous, brave. There's a lot of, hey, you know how it is, Mario. I look at you and I immediately think, the other side of town, but together, Argentine West Side, man, that's what Valiente is.
Yes.
Because I reached right into KCK.
Of course.
And when we took off, we had Tomas, Paez, we had Jason Hernandez, we had our guys from KCK, Kansas City, Missouri, and together, and we just took off. In 2000, we won our first tournament. Actually, the Hall of Fame today, Jimmy Chavez, we won his tournament in 2000, $1,000 tournament. We were able to turn with that money, fundraisers, host our own tournament that year at Argentine Community Center.
Nice.
And as you progress, great players draw good players draw other good players in.
Of course.
And then, obviously, it turns into the great ones.
Right.
And you catch lightning in a bottle.
Right.
And we did. It started with Michael Valdivia.
Right.
Mikey Aguirre. So the way we look at it is like this. When we do this, obviously it's basketball. It's for the love of the game. But we also look at it as if a continuation. Because sometimes after high school, guys aren't ready. There's prep school now, Jude, as you know.
Of course.
You guys know. We can keep this going. And that's what we did for a lot of young players. We did that for Michael Valdivia. We did that for Mikey Aguirre, who's playing right behind us. Both of those guys, Mikey Aguirre made MVP. Manny Medina made MVP at the Tourney Aguirre tournament at Penn Valley Community College. And guess who was watching? Coach Hy-Vee. As soon as it was over, had a little talk with them. Both them boys were playing at
Penn Valley.
Penn Valley, okay.
And it hit close to home. My son, out of high school, kept working on his game. Everybody there's always something. But if you want it, how bad do you want it? I tell the guys, how bad do you want it?
Yep.
My son was also a beneficiary of the Tourney Aguirre tournament.
Right.
MVP, Coach Hy-Vee, he got his 2 years at Penn Valley.
Nice.
So, and it goes on. There's multiple stories of people we've connected with, the networking that we talk about. Jude, I mean, fast pitch softball. I didn't even know there was Latino basketball growing up.
Right.
I just knew fast. My uncles coached the Pirates.
Right.
My uncle Eddie Munoz ran the Kansas City Pirates.
Right.
And so I just knew, and I was the bat boy. Got to travel. Got to go to Topeka. Ended up with my wife Joanne, her dad Joe Perez. He played on the team. So she was. I mean, it was bound to happen. I married a woman that was used to the traveling and loved the softball. Her dad was the pitcher.
Right.
Come on now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Listen, it's been such a pleasure watching, like I said, what you've done with this program, man. Like you said, the things where your kids have gotten, your son's got a chance to go play at Penn Valley. And those are great stories, man. Because we just talked to the guys from Chicago. We talked to Benny and those guys from the Chicago team. They talked about what they're doing over there with the shoot hoops, not guns. With doing that program and getting kids off the street. You've done a lot of that stuff, and not to say you pulled gangbangers off the street. That's not what I'm saying. But you've given a lot of kids opportunity where after high school ball there isn't anything. What are they going to do next? Because if there's nothing else to go to, or they don't go to college or something, you've given them an opportunity to play in some really awesome tournaments, travel the country. You've done some big things with this program.
As kids growing up, you don't realize the importance of a Guadalupe Center. You just go there every day after school. You go there in the summer programs. You take advantage of the basketball, the football, the baseball. And when you're growing up, you don't realize until you're older and you get to look back and, man, that was a lot of time I spent at the Guadalupe Center. Right. That was a lot of mentoring that Tony did back in the day, which made him who he was. Right. When he left, people were like, well, making it. No, that's who made Tony who he was. He would show. Tony was never late. He was always the last one to leave. And if Tony told you he was going to be there at 7 o'clock at the old Guadalupe Center to pick you up, put you in the van and take you, he was there, and there was not a day that he was not. This is also one of the other things you don't understand when you're young is that one of the kids doesn't show up. Well, we think, we got a full team. Why are we going to his house and knocking on the door? Well, because he's not here.
Right.
What if he didn't make it?
Tony wanted to know what's going on with him.
What if he didn't walk here? Go knock on the door,
Yeah.
see if he's there. He never said get him to come. He said, just,
Right.
and, you think about this after the fact. And we would drive to that kid's house, make sure he was safe, or he couldn't come, or he got in trouble.
Yeah.
Right.
And next thing you know, we're off to whatsoever community center. We're off to Don Bosco.
Yeah.
We're off. We're off to these community centers to do what Tony did best and coach kids, mentor kids. And that's all we try to do growing up. We try to follow in the footsteps of those who came before us.
Right.
When you see this here, this is just a replica of what we've. It's the only thing we've ever known.
Right.
Just like the softball tournaments, there's nothing different that you're seeing here.
Right.
The facilities a little better. Yes, everything evolves, but it's the same. It was passed on to us. I hope to do the same. We all hope to do the same.
Of course.
The basketball teams hope to do the same. We want to leave it in a better place than we found it.
Yeah.
And that's all we're trying to do here.
The KC Los Indios, I told him earlier, congratulations. Their team and their family got inducted into the NAFA for 50 years of men's fast pitch softball, into the NAFA Hall of Fame this year, brother. And that's something to be said about all of our community and all of our families that have grown up together, playing against one another. Because some of the guys earlier were talking, no matter what we do between the lines, we're always having a beer and breaking bread afterwards, man.
When we started, of course, growing up, the Amigos and the softball was the team. Well, when we started our team, Indios were dominating.
Right, yes.
And at a point, because we had Tomas, your cousin, and he also played fast pitch softball. We used to say as we took off, hey, at a certain point when we got to a certain level, under our wraps we would say, man, I think we're the Indios of the league right now. We're the Indios of the league.
Right. Yeah.
Hey,
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I used to go. I love softball. Yeah. It's embedded in me. And actually, coming up, my last year the last year I got to play for Tony Aguirre, and this is a memory of mine. We went undefeated in the city, and Tony was our coach, and we just didn't have the funds, but we went around the city, and I'll never forget. He told us, he goes, man, I wish I could have took you to 3-2. I know you could feel it. You could just feel it, man, because like I said, we went undefeated. We played on the east side, and we had a good super squad. And of course, I went off to play high school. Well, out there's no high school, so of course basketball. I always loved it. So I got to play basketball, but there was no base. But I was actually probably a little bit of baseball player than I was a basketball player. I was. That's a story for another day.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I'm looking at one of your guards over here, the guy in the black shorts right there with the black shirt. That's one of your guards, correct?
Sir,
man, one of your guys just took a spill right now. Can we get him to come over here? I'd love
Is that Serta?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but I want him to come on over here.
Serta.
I want him to come on over and join our podcast. Is he all right? I want you to stay on. We're going to bring him out over here. My man, I want you to join our podcast. What's up, bro? I want you to come over here and put a headset on.
What's up, Serta?
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing?
It's another one of my Kansas connections over there.
Tell you, I've known his dad for a while. I've watched this young man play.
Oh yeah, I got to throw it out there. Back when I was coaching high school ball, I had his dad playing for my team.
Nice.
Oh yeah, there we go.
I've known his dad for a long time. I've watched this young man play, and I've always been very fond of his skills, man. This kid, something special to watch. I'm going to enjoy here a little bit later watching this championship game and watch this young man do his thing. But listen, we wanted to bring you on Love You Bro podcast. It's a Kansas City podcast here, and we're kind of show-based in the tournament. But I've been watching you for a while, and I just told Coach over here, I said, that's a young man I want to get on the podcast. So welcome to Love You Bro podcast.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, tell me about your first time when you started playing this Tony Aguirre tournament. Were you playing with Valiente? Who were you playing with? Or was Valiente a team that you looked at, you were like, man, that's a team I want to play for someday?
Nah, yeah, Lino's the main guy. That's my guy. He's the one that got me into all this, and appreciate him for everything he's done for me, and we still doing it. So I'm proud of that. We got a good relationship. We go travel across the world. Made a lot of connections. So it's just been a great journey, and I'm proud he's in my corner.
How many years have you been with Valiente now?
About like 10 years, 15 years.
What's going on there?
Yeah,
that's great.
When I think that, I just know I'm getting older.
he just aged me right there, bro. He said 10. I'm like, wait.
I think he aged himself too.
Yeah, nah, for real.
Nah, but
so tell me about some of your best experiences, some of your most favorite tournaments that you guys have gone to that you played in with Valiente.
I think all of them, honestly, especially the ones where we travel, 12-hour road trips, 10-hour road trips, whatever, to Texas, all across America. I think those are the best ones because, that time being in the car for 12 hours, we just talk, it's like at the end of the day, it's a brotherhood, we're a family, all my guys here that I'm playing with, You know, like we locked in. We talk to each other every day. You know, it's nothing like, oh, we'll see you next tournament. Nah, hey, bro, you good? You know, how's everything going back home? Everything all right? You know, so we check up on each other, man, and you know, it's a family thing. You know, and it's awesome.
It's special, and we've talked about this with everybody that's been on the show today about how special about, you know, the family, you know, playing and the people you meet and the networking you do across country.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, Mario's softball team, his family has been around for a long time, and I think all of us can not you because you're in the middle of it right now, but that's the biggest thing you miss when you leave the game is those road trips.
For sure.
You miss, you know, checking in on your guys, you know, going and breaking bread with your guys and doing stuff, being at a son's baptism and being at a birthday party or something.
Yeah.
That's what you miss the most.
For sure.
So the one thing I can tell you is, man, soak this all up and enjoy it.
Definitely.
I know you guys got a lot of passion, man. Keep winning and doing your thing because you're a lot of fun to watch, my man.
Appreciate you guys, man.
Absolutely. Hey, we appreciate you coming on the show on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Yes, sir.
Hey, listen, you're part of Love You Bro podcast. I'm going to get you to come back and sign that banner here in a few minutes.
All right, that's cool.
Okay.
I'm with you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I appreciate you coming on the show.
It's an honor.
Good luck in the championship. Maybe one day we'll get a Love You Bro podcast because I think I'd like to do it in Valientes. There's got to be a warehouse or somewhere that you're storing all the trophies, bro. Well, I don't even want to know because it might be underground and
Ask Mario. Where does he store his at?
They just put away.
Hey, I want. There's one day that I want just a 5-minute segment, 10-minute segment. I want to go into a room and I want to see the Valiente trophies. Deal?
We could do that. Before I leave, sure, it's a deal. You sure sound like a guy from the radio. I used to be called Jayhawk Jude.
Yeah, you remember that? Remember that?
Sounds so familiar, man.
I don't know who that
Yeah,
guy
was
is, man.
it
Listen,
Keatsman or somebody doing?
Listen, I told the guys at 810, I said, listen, you guys want to make me part of your radio show, so I had to fucking do my
I
own.
know that's right.
I love you, brother.
Yes, sir.
I love you, bro.
Real quick, Linos, let me ask you this question. These basketball tournaments, you've been doing them for a long time, right? So in the softball world, we've seen them kind of dwell down a little bit. No more. There's not too many teams out there like our team. You know, we're still out there. The Bravos, they're still doing their thing, but you know, it's just hard. It's hard to get the people out to do it again.
It's the want. It's the hard work. It's the work that people don't see behind the scenes, Mario.
Yeah.
The contact, the staying, you know, the fundraising, you know, just being the man that gets everything together. That's you know, again. When it comes, I'm gonna refer back to Fish. They made it look easy.
Right.
Some people just make it look easy. Myself, you know, you guys with the Indios, and it's not. We know all the behind scenes, all the headaches, all the drama.
Right.
Even our wives, you know, we can
right.
hear them. And sometimes in the background, but you guess what? They're right behind
us,
and they got their opinion because you know. But that's what it is, Mario. But we're seeing numbers rise in Texas.
Okay.
You know, on the West Coast, obviously. Are the teams down a little bit? Yes, but also I think we're seeing a lot of talent. We're seeing a lot. It's condensing, and we're seeing a lot more talent with basketball. So you might not have the numbers, but you definitely have the talent.
Yeah,
I love that. Yeah. Hey, listen, hats off to both you guys, man, because listen,
thanks for having us, man.
The great ones make it look easy, and both you guys did that during your playing days, coaching days, and everything. So thank you guys for coming on the podcast today. We're going to make this an annual thing, man, coming to this tournament, and we're going to keep following Valiente. So good luck in the championship, bro.
Thank you, man.
I love you, man.
Thank you.
I love you, brother. Thank you so much for helping host today, okay?
Yeah, I appreciate you having me here, man.
From Love You Bro podcast, man, we're out at the Tourney Aguirre tournament. This is our little sign off here, man. Love you guys. Thank you so much for following us. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, our YouTube. Please go and subscribe. Continue building our followers, and we'll keep bringing you our podcast. Thank you so much. Thanks, guys.
This was fun. Thank you.